birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Tamara. Happy birthday to you.
This is the story of Tamara Padi, who was killed by her ex-husband of 14 years. He killed her and called the police to say, "I killed her, but she deserved to be killed." Tamara was a mother of two who never saw it coming.
My own.
Hey girl.
Hello and welcome to Twisted Crimes. Subscribe and hit the like button for more stories. On July 7, 2021, at about 1:30 a.m., 43-year-old Tamara Padi got back to her home on Lake Road, Staybridge, Greater Manchester, UK, where she and her two kids lived. Tamara returned to her home from work with her co-workers and she told them they could sleep there for a few hours before they head home. Tamara's friend slept downstairs, while Tamara went to her bedroom on the second floor. At the time, one of her daughters was asleep in the room next door. A couple of hours later, Tamara's co-worker called the police and told them that Tamara had been attacked and needed help. The co-worker knew who attacked Tamara and told the police that it was her husband. At 3:30 a.m., they heard screams coming from upstairs, and then Tamara's husband ran out the front door. Aubrey Padi, Tamara's 41-year-old husband, also called the police and told them he hit his wife, but he said she deserved it. When the police arrived, he had already left the house and was nowhere to be found. When the police got to the house, they saw that Tamara needed medical help right away. She had serious injuries, so she was taken to the hospital right away. But Tamara's injuries were too bad, and when she got to the hospital they said she was dead. She had been beaten and stabbed to death in a cruel way. The police found out that Tamara hadn't lived in the house until February 2021, when she moved in. She and Aubrey had broken up that same month. Tamara was from Butterworth in the Eastern Cape, and when she met Aubrey, she was living in Khayelitsha in Cape Town, South Africa. He came from South Africa as well. He worked for the South African Navy and he was from Pretoria. They moved to the UK in 2004 so they could start a family and find more jobs. Tamara also wanted more study options, so when she moved to the UK, she studied hard to get a master's in law. She wanted to take care of her kids.
Elderflower, toxic water, medic. It says tonic, not toxic. I know.
Tamara and Aubrey had been married for 14 years and had two daughters when they broke up. Even though they were going to get a divorce soon, they stayed friends for the sake of their two daughters, Tia, 15, and Mia, 10.
Hey, ballerina girl.
Police had to try to figure out why Aubrey was in Tamara's house and what happened to make Aubrey attack Tamara so violently early that morning. They also had to find out why Aubrey was there in the first place. The police talked to a co-worker and friend of Tamara's who was there that morning. They told the police that the screams woke them up and that they saw Aubrey getting ready to leave through the front door. Before he left, Aubrey ran back upstairs when he heard Tamara scream again. He then ran back downstairs and out the front door. The knife used to stab Tamara was found near the property, under a car. She was at a point where she was doing good for herself when she was killed. She just bought a car, she just graduated, just had her birthday, enjoying trips around the world and so much more.
Huh?
Okay, now I need to go there. Come with us. Come on.
Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Tamara. Happy birthday to you. How old are you now? How old are you now? How old are you now, Tamara? How old are you now?
Aubrey was arrested and charged with killing Tamara a few days after she died. He said he was guilty. The court heard about what happened before Tamara was killed. Even though it looked like Tamara and Aubrey were getting along after they broke up, Aubrey's actions before that fatal morning showed that wasn't the case. Aubrey was in Tamara's car the day before she was killed. He asked her to give him her phone. He hit her in the face when she wouldn't let him take her phone. Later that night, he sent her several text messages, some of which were apologies and some of which were threats. One of these text messages said, "This is the last time you had disrespected me." Tamara didn't want Aubrey to check out what was on her phone. Even though they were no longer together, he still tried to control her. 2 weeks before she died, she found out that he had been listening to her voicemails. Tamara told her friends that he was creepy and making her want to stay away from him. But Tamara was also guarded and private, and she didn't tell anyone about everything she might have had to go through. The court heard that Tamara's killing was carefully planned and carried out. Aubrey broke into Tamara's house while she was at work on July 7th and hid inside so she wouldn't see him when she got home from work. He did this without Tamara's knowledge or permission. He waited for her to come home, the court heard. He set an alarm on his phone so he could sleep for a few hours while he waited for her to come back. Aubrey brought a few things with him to Tamara's house, which the prosecutor said was more proof that the attack was planned. He brought with him a hammer, knives, gloves, an exercise bar made of metal, and a cord. The court was told that Aubrey's alarm went off at 3:30 a.m. He wanted to attack Tamara while she was in bed and sleeping. Aubrey used a metal exercise bar to beat Tamara badly. Tamara fought back, and she got hurt many times in the process. After the beating, he thought she was dead and ran downstairs. Just as he was about to open the front door, he heard a noise and a scream and ran back upstairs. He stabbed her 8 times with one of the knives he had brought with him. Aubrey got out of the house and called the police. He admitted that he was going to kill himself. He said this to the dispatcher. "I am sorry for what I have done, but she deserved it." Aubrey cried as he was sentenced in court. Judge Elizabeth Nichols, who was in charge of the case, said, "In that moment the defendant effectively deprived their children of both parents, one through death, the other by the annihilation of trust in their father, who up until that moment they believed they knew and loved. You waited in the house for your wife to return from a late-night care visit, knowing that your daughter slept in the adjoining bedroom. So clear and considered were your intentions, you even set your phone alarm giving yourself a chance to sleep and ensuring that your wife would be asleep before you attacked her. Also," Judge Nichols said, "some people think you must have had a breakdown, but no medical evidence or other evidence has been shown to show that mental health problems had anything to do with this crime. You may have been stressed and upset about your job or your divorce, but that doesn't explain how cruel you were. As is the case with so much violence against women, you tried to put the blame on the victim by saying that she had done you wrong and made you act this way, so far as to say that she deserved it. And what type of parental love is it that lies alongside your child while waiting to murder her mother? Tamara is the one who got hurt, but she has nothing to do with it. You alone are to blame for this wrongdoing. No woman should have to go through what Tamara did in her last hours at the hands of a man." Aubrey's lawyer, Stephen Meadowcroft QC, said it was undoubtedly a shocking, tragic, and very sad case, and that those who knew Tamara and the defendant were shocked by what happened. His lawyers told the judge that Aubrey had never been convicted of a crime before and that he had pleaded guilty as soon as he could. Aubrey was given a sentence of at least 23 years in prison. Our condolences to the friends and family of Tamara. May Tamara's memory be a blessing for her family and for all who knew her, and may her life and death be an inspiration and a turning point towards justice and increased protection for domestic abuse survivors. Please stay safe and see you guys in the next video.